Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Walt here from Down the Block Sports, and today I want to talk about the NFL. Baker Mayfield has finally been traded by the Cleveland Browns. What I want to talk about today is where he's been traded and how this affects both teams moving forward. Again, I'm Alec Walt. This is Down the Block Sports. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more of my exclusive content. Yes, we all knew Baker Mayfield's time in Cleveland had come to an end. He's finally been traded, and he's on his way to Charlotte, North Carolina. The Browns have traded Baker Mayfield to the Carolina Panthers for a conditional fifth-round pick in 2024. Of course, the deal is pending a physical. Baker Mayfield is owed $18 million in the 2022 season. The Browns will cover $10.5 million for this upcoming season, so the Panthers will only pay about $7.5 or so million for Baker Mayfield at the quarterback position. Now, the Panthers seem like the likely team outside of maybe Seattle to make a trade for Baker Mayfield, because when you look at the quarterback room right now on that team, of course, before the trade, it really wasn't anything special. They drafted Matt Corral in the draft, who's been dealing with injuries throughout the draft process, injured himself in a bowl game for Ole Miss, so he wasn't looking like an option to be the starting quarterback in week one. And then, of course, you have Sam Darnold, who looked productive in the first month of the season and then completely fell off a cliff. He is certainly not looking like an option to be the franchise quarterback. Now, will Baker Mayfield be the franchise quarterback? I don't exactly know, but getting Baker Mayfield for about $7.5 million or so to be your starting quarterback for only giving up a conditional fifth-round pick in two drafts from now really isn't that bad of a return. I mean, let's be real here, guys. If you're the Carolina Panthers, did you really want Sam Darnold being your starting QB going into week one, ironically, against the Cleveland Browns? No. He didn't perform well last year. He had expectations to be the starting QB, and things did not work out. You know, could Matt Corral be the starting QB for this team in 2 or 3 years? Maybe. But again, that's 2 or 3 years as he develops into a starting quarterback and, of course, rehabs from an injury that he suffered towards the end of the year. Now, when you look at Carolina's offense right now, going into the 2022 season, they have made a couple improvements specifically on the offensive line. They drafted Ikem Ekwonu in the 2022 draft to play left tackle. He's one of the more athletic guys. Many penciled him as an option to go to the Jaguars. Of course, he fell to number 6, so he will have much better protection on the offensive line. That is, of course, Baker Mayfield. He has one of the most dynamic running backs in the NFL if he can actually stay healthy for a full season. Christian McCaffrey's an absolute stud. They have some depth questions after that, so they need to make sure he can stay on the field. And then, of course, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrace Marshall. They have some solid receivers. DJ Moore, in my opinion, can't be a true number one. He just hasn't had the best quarterbacks giving him the football, and hopefully an improvement this year at that position with Baker Mayfield can potentially turn him into that true number one outside threat. So the Browns finally did it. They found a team willing to trade for Baker Mayfield. I think Carolina is a great location. I don't exactly know how much long-term this has on it. I do think the Panthers will be competitive next year. I mean, remember last year, they were looking like a potential playoff team early in the season. Now, things obviously fell off a cliff very early, but, you know, they have talent on both sides of the football. Their defense is young. Their defense is really, really good. Matt Rule's a good head coach that, of course, hasn't lived up to expectations. You look at the Panthers right now, if they don't remain competitive in an NFC that really isn't as good as it was last year due to trades and whatnot, those guys could be on the hot seat if they aren't already. Carolina needs to win some games this year, and Baker's going to win you way more games than Darnold will, and they need to figure it out because things could get ugly if they end up having a top 10 pick in the next year's draft. So we'll see what happens, but Baker Mayfield's on his way out. He's now a Carolina Panther. What do you think of this trade between the Carolina Panthers and Cleveland Browns? Feel free to give me your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more of my exclusive content. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you very soon.